9:10. All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Trading WTF, Where to Focus. And today we are joined by Chiara Francica. Chiara ran into forex trading 3 years ago after doing affiliate marketing successfully for 3 years. She was tired of showing up every day on social media to sell digital programs and products. So she found forex to be a great way to make money online without having to be all over social media. She says that trading forex has been a wild ride. I can definitely agree with that, trading forex as well. For her, because it's not just about learning a strategy and making a ton of money. According to Chiara, there's more to it, and forex is a great way to build a tough mindset, which has been a challenge she has embraced over the last 3 years. In this episode, we'll talk about what made Chiara make the change, some of her background in trading, and maybe some of what's going on in the world and what's going on. So, Chiara, anything you'd like to add?
Yeah. So, anything I'd like to add to what you said into the intro, or which question?
Anything, either or.
Okay. All right. So, hi, my name is Chiara. I'm from a very tiny island called Malta in the Mediterranean. A lot of you probably never heard of this. That's okay. I'm not offended. I've heard it over and over. But yeah, I started my own thing, like being away, like not wanting to have anything to do with a job 8 years ago. And I managed to find my way into, making my own online income. It took me a year, but after a year I was doing it successfully, quit my job and was able to travel the world, speak on stage and do some really crazy things, meet amazing people, and eventually ran into forex as well, which is something I know we'll talk about. And it's been a great ride since. I'll take it, even though I had so many challenges and I had nasty things happen to me, I'll actually talk about one of the things that really killed me mentally, but I'll still embrace entrepreneurship over ever working for someone else's dreams, because even with the ups and downs, making your own online income is definitely a way to live. There's time freedom. You work on your own hours, your own schedule. You don't need permission to travel or take some time off. It's literally no boss lifestyle. I think it's the best way to live.
Yeah, I've enjoyed some freedom as well, and I couldn't agree more. Talking about freedom, talking about forex and your personality. I guess how would you describe your personality, and how does that a fit for forex trading, or you mentioned ups and downs,
so I'm a mix of an extrovert and an introvert. So online, if you see me online, you see me on video, I'm the most social being ever. But if you see me in a room, I'm the most introvert person. I don't walk up to people and talk to them. If someone talks to me, yes, I'm quick to just pick up a conversation. But online, I'm a huge extrovert. But in general, let's just say I'm an extrovert. And how does it work with forex? I think it works well. Here's the thing. Forex for me is more about psychology than it is about skill or personality. And I think any type of person, extrovert or introvert, you have to learn how to deal with emotions when it comes to forex. So I think, it doesn't matter kind of what kind of person you are. I've met people in forex who do really well in forex. Actually, when we're in Puerto Rico, the whole point of us going there was to actually meet a really good trader, and he's an extrovert, and he trades really well, and he too has his ups and downs. So for those of you watching this and you're looking into getting into forex, and maybe you've been trying, don't worry if you failed and failed and failed and failed. I've seen people who have passed, they've managed to get funds with a prop firm such as Scandinavian Markets, and then literally they do it 4 months consistently, and then this guy, a specific guy I'm talking about, he had a breakup and he blew up the account, and then he just got back, he just tried again and he passed again. So it's an up and down journey, like, you know, so don't worry if you feel that maybe you think you're emotionally unstable, or it's not the case. It's like we're human beings, and, you know, everyone gets anxiety looking at charts. So
well, you hit on a few things. You mentioned up and down, and how do you pick yourself up once you go down? And you mentioned all the key things about what drives you, and I think that's the key for anyone.
I think with forex specifically, and I've seen this amazing trader, like he is phenomenal with trading, and he suggests the same thing. And when I put this into practice, I was like, this was the missing piece. You can't just be obsessed with forex. It can't be the only thing you're doing. Forex doesn't need a whole day. Like, you don't need to be looking at your graph all day. Like, and that's definitely something you don't want to do if you want to be successful in the long term with forex. So what I did recently was I was like, okay, I need a break from this because I'm driving myself crazy just being full on with forex. I think it's good to have something else on the side, even if you do voluntary work or something like a good cause. Just have something on the side that keeps your mind busy. So you could just have like a few setups each week. Like the successful trader I know, he just does 4 setups a week. And I was like, 4? It's like, yeah, 4. It's like, you don't need more than 4 setups a week. That's his strategy though. But you don't need that many setups to make good income with forex, because then you can scale it. Like when you go get like, you apply with a prop firm such as Scandinavian Markets, you can apply for a big account and you can have big capital, low risk, and you're still making a lot of money each month. So I would say keep your mind busy. This is what's been working for me. And I'm picking up forex again because I let it go for a very short while because I needed a break mentally from it. And I said, okay, I need to pick something else up. And I was feeling good enough to get back into affiliate marketing again, because that requires me to be on social media and balance it out with forex. So now I'm picking it up again and I'm working on balancing the two. But it keeps my mind busy, and my mind's not just like, okay, what's happening with the trade? Like, did it hit my stop loss? Did it hit my take profit? So like, it keeps my mind busy, and I'm not like hyper focusing on just trading and micromanaging the trades. Like, you don't want to do that.
That's the worst. Then you move your stop loss, and then you're like, oh, I left my plan, and then everything just goes from there. And then you begin to overtrade. You're like, I'm going to get that back, and then you get into another trade, and you just start beating yourself up when you don't have to.
That's what was happening to me. I was beating myself up, and if I get one like bad trade, I have to make up for it, and all the trading psychology, you know, that you read up comes into play.
Well. Yeah. If you can't say that you haven't been guilty of this, then you haven't failed enough yet. So that's part of the journey that I think everyone needs to hear. And that's the only way that you can get back up and do that, because like you said from the start, you wanted financial freedom. And if you're going to work for someone else, then yeah, you don't have to worry about fighting. But if you got the drive in you and the passion and the fight and the determination, I think that's the key. Is you're gonna figure it.
Exactly.
I like it. So, speaking of determination and figuring it out, you mentioned the funded trader programs and getting through there. What are your thoughts on determination and getting through a funded trader program?
On getting funded with a prop firm, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. So you're gonna hear people that are a bit negative about it, but when you hear the reasons why they're negative, it's like, okay, like you obviously don't trade properly yet, or you don't know what it takes to trade properly. A lot of people will tell you because you can't put a stop loss, or you can't, like, I don't know what else they come up with things that like don't even match up with risk management. But honestly speaking, for me, that's my ultimate goal, is to get funded with a prop firm. I honestly think it's the best way around putting your skills into practice and making so much money. Like, you can make serious money just by applying with a prop firm, And all you need is a good strategy, good risk management, of course. Like, I'm very big on risk management, and obviously getting your emotions in place. But it will help a lot with emotions if you're trading with a prop firm, because it's not your money. And a lot of people, they don't do well because they're trading their own money. So they're putting their own money at risk. But if you're using a prop firm, it puts less pressure on yourself. So you will trade better. That's my experience.
I also think on the dollar for dollar aspect of what you can get, the risk reward is much better, because if you buy a $500 package, a $1,000 package, $2,000 package, whatever it might be, the most you can do, let's say with a $2,000 account, if you're lucky, maybe you double your $2,000 account and you get to $4,000. But how much risk did you have to take to get to double that?
Exactly.
You got lucky. You didn't trade your account right, and as a trader, you want to be focused on being the best you can be, and being the best you can be doesn't mean forcing you to play your hand. If you're in poker, you want to be very specific. You want to be focused on statistics and the chance that you have to win your hand. Whereas if you're going back to the prop thing and whatnot, if you want to be focused on trading, placing good trades and focus on risk management and all the principles that matter to being a good trader, if you want to take this seriously. And with $2,000, it's hard to get realized, and it's hard to say, oh, look at my $2,000 account on my FX book. Look, I doubled that. But what kind of investor are you going to attract? And here you have the opportunity to be managing up to $1 million, and for the same cost as your 500, 1,000, 2,000 that it might be. And so you have a chance, and there's no time limits as well. So you have the chance to trade smart and use proper trading techniques and have the opportunity to get bigger funds out there, which the only other way that most other traders can get their first start is getting friends and family to give them a certain amount of money to trade. And then what happens, you lose that money, and then you have to face your friends and family. And that's definitely not a road you want to go down.
Yeah, and one other thing I want to add to that is, like, trading on your own account is the time that you take. I mean, it's costing you making, so let's say you have a $2,000 account, it's costing you making $2,000 a day if you don't apply with a prop firm, because for the same amount of, you're still doing the same setups, you're still taking the same amount of time on your graph. Might as well, I'd much rather put my money into a prop firm, get a bigger account, and for the same amount of time, all I have to do is just know how to manage my lot size, which is something like everyone should know how to do before they ever apply with a prop firm, is knowing how to calculate your lot size. And you're just doing the same thing with a big account. You just calculate the lot size for that specific account. So, that's how I look at my time. Like, if I'm going to spend if I'm going to spend my time doing something, like, I need to make sure it's not costing me making lesser money. It makes sense.
Yeah. And as a fund manager, you're only restricted to your perk on only a small perk or a piece of your performance, where here you get to really live and eat off of what you perform off of, and you get to trade a reasonable amount. So I really like the upside, and as traders are coming in with COVID, what have you noticed with traders coming into the space, and with maybe the markets turning? How's the sentiment with traders in the market
during COVID?
Yeah, like you see, with Robinhood, all these accounts, like millions and millions of accounts signing up. So everybody's a trader. Everybody's sitting at home in their boxers, right? The classic meme saying, "Mom, make me some toaster strudels. I'm a millionaire," and they're sitting in their room in their boxers.
Yeah, I have noticed more people coming into trading during COVID. I had a lot of people reach out to me from my YouTube channel and telling me like they want to get into trading because they're potentially going to lose their job. And I'm pretty sure more people are going to be at risk now that, like I from what my partner tells me, because he's so big into reading about the economy and he's big on crypto. So that's, is highly affected by the economy. So he's always trying to understand what's going on in the world. We believe that a huge famine will come, that more people will lose their job. But that doesn't mean we should be afraid. That's actually a time when people become rich as well. So I feel that trading is a huge opportunity. And I know we're going to see more people coming into trading, more than ever before, because it's a great way to, of course, if you can get your emotions in place, because I'm so big on, I know like emotions are bigger than strategy with forex. But if you can get all this aligned, like, you can make way more money than you ever believed you could make.
Yeah, the opportunity is there, but you definitely need to have the skill, and it takes time. And like you said, the ups and the downs, and learning. With regards to the famine and such, what's going on in your part of the world? Because I'm over here in Canada, and I'm seeing like over $10 for 2 liters of milk at the grocery store. And
to be honest, it's not as bad as the US. Like, I think Europe, there's a bit of a lag, and USA will, and like the United States and Canada will always be ahead of us in terms of inflation, probably because of the dollar. But yeah, prices are going up, and that's scary because like 8 years ago when I worked a job, I had the median paycheck. I didn't have minimum wage, but I didn't have an amazing salary either. It was like what most people got around the island. And I could barely make it. Like, I really, that's one of the reasons why I came online, was because I was just tired of living paycheck to paycheck. I wanted to travel, and I don't want to travel like within Europe. No, I wanted to travel to Asia and America, and these places need money. Like, you need a 5-figure per month income to travel. Like, I don't care what people tell me. I know I'm not going to stay in hostels so if I'm going to travel, I want to travel comfortably. And a lot of people out there are like that. So, it's okay to acknowledge that. But I could barely make it back in the day. So I don't know how people are going to make it now, seriously, because your people's pay stays like this. Maybe it goes up slightly with a promotion, but nothing out of this world crazy. And prices keep going up, rent keeps going up, food prices keep going up. So what are you guys going to do when, for those of you that are still on a job, maybe you should consider something where, you safeguard yourself and your family. Learn a skill set. I'm big on high income skills, like learning forex is a high income skill, So yeah, so things are starting to get pricey here as well. Like, one of the things we noticed, we already, like, I don't buy milk, I buy plant milk, but the price stayed the same. But like cat food, I have 3 cats. Cat food's way more expensive than it used to be. I'm like, oh my God, like, So if we don't work for ourselves, we wouldn't manage,
Yeah, I know. We adopted a dog, and he's a big dog, and it's like and no wonder why it's like over $100 billion in industry, the pet industry. Like, but everything is rising, and everyone's passing their prices on, and everybody is stuck at the end. So there is a famine because people have to choose right now between, do I eat breakfast or do I, eat lunch, or maybe people are eating 1 meal a day right now if they can even. So that might not be famine in the sense of it, but that is famine for a lot of people, right? So
it is.
But with this, anyone can get started, and it's just where does one get started, as you mentioned?
You're asking me, where does one get started?
Yeah, how does one get started in forex? You said you got to learn. It takes time. So what does the path look like?
So the way I look at it now is, if I look back and, if I had to give myself advice, I would say to not focus too much on demo. I think demo should only be used for practicing a strategy and testing a strategy to see if it works. But you want to spend most of your time trading, like, of course, like, I'm going to say this cautiously, like real money, but like risk, I call it risk capital, which like, you know, money you can afford to lose. Like, don't ever put money into something that doesn't put food on your table the following days or whatever, you know, like don't put your rent money. Like that's like the worst way to lose money actually. So I say it very cautiously, so please be responsible with your money, but yeah, just trade like as much as you can, like not on demo, because demo doesn't test your emotions. And what you need to learn faster than actually skill is, how am I going to deal with my emotions? So I think that's just the best way to start, is just learn. There's tons of YouTube videos. And if you feel you're ready, go apply for a prop firm like Scandinavian Markets. I think that Scandinavian Markets has an amazing plan in place where you have like one verification and you have no time limit. And no time limit, by the way, that's amazing, because a lot of prop firms like outside Scandinavian Markets, they put a time limit on you, and that puts pressure. The last thing you want with trading is pressure, and they don't give it to you. So like Scandinavian Markets doesn't have that. So honestly, I think it's like a perfect prop firm, you know? So yeah, no, like
traders,
seriously.
listen, come, we want you, pass. There's no pressure, pass. Trade good, trade well, trade smart. But if you're patient and you play smart trades, take the pitch. It's about time in the market, not timing the market. So
exactly, and that's an issue. Like having a countdown and seeing a countdown with many prop firms, it drives me a bit crazy, to be honest, because I'm like, oh my god, I got 10 days left and I still have to make, even if you have like $100 left to make, it puts you in panic mode. It puts me in panic mode at least.
yeah, and that saying, it's time in the market, not timing the market. That was like what the mutual fund guys used to say, but that also applies to FX, because so many times I've seen traders take a quick profit and they spend time in a losing trade, but they won't let a winning trade run. And that's the difference between placing a good trade and a bad trade, is letting the market take you into the trade and letting the pips ride and collect the profit. And with the no time limit thing, it gives you the opportunity to just focus on setting the good trades, that be very picky with it. And
yeah, you have to be picky with trading. Like you can't rush trades. You have to be patient. Like you have to test, like this, trading tests you. Like it really tested me. And I was going through a huge emotional time in my life when I started trading. So it really tested me. That's why I embraced it, because I needed something like forex to help me put myself back into a mindset that was like a strong mindset, so to speak. So yeah, be patient with the markets. It's better if you think that a trade doesn't have, like, checks all the points. Like, if you think there's one thing missing, or if you feel that one thing is missing, better not to take the trade. Like, even if you win after, don't worry, don't let it, you know, don't let it like kill you. Like, plenty of opportunities, you know.
Yeah. Trust your gut. That's one of the keys. Trust your gut. And don't be greedy as well.
And don't be greedy. Oh yeah, that's everyone's greedy, I think, in the beginning.
yeah. Like, I'm gonna get this trade. I'm gonna get that trade. Okay. And after you get that first trade, you just builds that confidence and ego. So you're like, okay, let's look at it. And you mentioned earlier about people complaining they don't like certain programs. What don't they like about programs? What do they complain about? Because it kind of grinds my grits. About prop firms.
The one I saw one person recently complain about the stop loss because he had to place a stop loss, and I was like, why wouldn't you place a stop loss? Like, what if you go to the bathroom and something happens with the market, like a news event, and it's volatile and it just blows up your account? Like, if someone tells me that, I mean, that worries me a lot. Like, you obviously have an issue with like risk management there, because you need to manage your lot size and have a stop loss before you enter a trade. So that's key for me. Like, I don't enter trades without a stop loss. And you need a stop loss to know how much your lot size is going to be. Because if you're going to trade with a prop firm and you have a 100K account, you know, it's not the same. The lot size you put in a 100K account is not the same as a 10K account. So you really need to like know how to calculate that lot size. All you need is like a lot size calculator. They're free online, and you just put in the pips you're going to, like, you know, depending on where your entry is and the stop loss is, the size of the account, and you're done.
Yeah, if I had $1 for every person who tried to show me a $5,000 account and say, give me money, and then they don't put stop losses on the account, I'd have a few $1,000s probably. But like, that's what bothers me, is so often people want to manage your money, and they want to do it because they traded their $5,000 account well, and they think they deserve to trade $1 million, $100,000, whatever it might be, and then they don't want to put a stop loss. So that's the basic. That's risk management 101. That shows me at the other side that you're calculating your risk. You have an idea where you want to exit your trade, where you're going to enter it. That shows me that you're going to be responsible. And if you're asking for money to manage, you sure as heck better be responsible. So let me be like devil's advocate for one moment and be the trader and be like, oh, I don't want anyone to see my stop loss and know what I'm thinking because the broker is going to hunt my stop loss. No. Your stop loss is going to get hit because you placed it 5 pips away from your entry, and you're not giving your trade really enough room to breathe. Exactly.
Yeah, this is a limiting belief about the broker. It's far from the truth. I used to think that in the beginning. I used to play victim. I'm like, the broker took my money. It's like, after I realized, no, it's because you need a good setup. Like, you need to know how to find like a good setup, have a good stop loss, you know, and a good strategy, and you're fine. Like, some of your trades are going to hit your stop loss. You're never going to have 100% win rate. So
we got a question from Lucas. And he's like, I have failed multiple times at different prop firms. It's okay. Don't worry. Keep trying. You'll get it. It seems like they are just placing those rules to make you fail. What's your opinion? Man, I wish I could have you just join this conversation. But without rules, how are you gonna pass to get that money though? That would be my question right back to you though. Without
I know a lot of people complain about the rules. They're like, oh, there's so many rules. It's like they don't want you to pass, and they're making money off you paying to join the challenge. That's not true. I mean, if you look at YouTube, there are tons of people that pass the challenge that are doing extremely well. And before I actually get up to $1 million account with Scandinavian Markets, by the way, there's no way I'm going to stop, because, you know, it always comes down to risk management. What was the question again? Sorry. Oh, he failed multiple.
Yeah. It seems like they're just placing those rules to make you fail. What's your opinion?
I also failed multiple accounts, so don't feel bad. And my partner is the same thing as well. He's actually going to Barcelona to learn from a trader who used to teach on Wall Street, because he wants to dial in his risk management and things like this, right? Not just that, but strategy. And I don't believe the rules are there to make you fail. I think they're there because these people are going to trust you with money that's not yours, right? So they need to have rules in place to see, like, how can you handle pressure? How can you handle risk management? Like, can you trade properly, like within these rules, so that we know we can trust you with our money? Because they're like Scandinavian Markets, they give you all the way up to $1 million. Like, if I'm going to give my $1 million to a stranger, I need to know that they know what they're doing. So they're just testing your skills. That's it. And, you know, if it was easy, everyone would do this and everyone would win. I just think you really just need to, you know, just keep refining, like fine-tune your skill set. Tons of people have passed the challenge. There's no way, like, I'm sure you can as well. I believe anyone that's really obsessed and focused and hyper-focused on this will eventually get to their goal of passing with a prop firm.
And I agree. I don't think there's a reason for you to fail. Like there's incentive for us to make that 25% kicker as well off of it. And we want to make money. We want you to make money. And the rules are there because there needs to be a respect for trading money, and to trade that amount of money, it needs to be respected. That's number one. Nobody wants to fund money and see it go to the garbage or go to waste, right? So that money has to come from somewhere, right? So there's investors backing the operation, and they get the upside from it as well. They also understand how risky FX is in trading. So if they do get a good trader, that's their incentive, is to be able to be invested inside of there. So there's a lot of things. So it's about being responsible, number one, having respect for the money, I think, and no one wants to lose more than 2% in a day. When you trade at a bank, you're given your daily limits and you have to stick to them. That's why there's some bankers that go to jail when they go rogue and stuff like that for trading off the books. So, yeah, limits. That's the really important thing as a trader and as a human being, is understanding balance, and limits are a part of that, I think.
I agree.
So keep trying, keep learning, and you will succeed. I think fall once, get up; fall twice, get back up. You just got to keep going. And Thomas Edison found 10,000 ways not to make a light bulb. So if you haven't done it that many times, and you don't have the will to do it that many times, then you're not ready to find success. You have to have that drive. Like, you have that determination. You're not going to work for someone else, like you said.
Yeah, and this happened to me even with affiliate marketing, like, because I know that was going to be like one of the questions. When I came online, I didn't start with forex. I started with online marketing, and that took me a year to get into, like, to actually make money consistently. So everything's a challenge. Like, anything that requires different programming, because we've been programmed to think that we should go to work, clock in and clock out. So when it comes to, doing something for ourselves, we find it so hard to understand that until we learn how to do something, even if it takes 3 years, we are literally having to reprogram our mind. We're so hardwired to just obey and literally do as we've been told. So in something like forex, you're not hardwired to trade. You have to teach yourself, and it comes with time. And we all come with different. Like, you'll hear some people, they pick it up within like a year. I'm not one of those people. My partner certainly isn't. And a lot of the good traders we know took them all the way up to even 8 years. I'm not saying it's going to take you 8 years. I'm just saying, even successful people, the only difference between people that haven't succeeded and them is that they never quit. So if you never quit, I always say this to myself, if you don't quit, you can't fail,
And just, one thing just popped in my mind as it says, those rules to make you fail. Well, one, I know we're coming up with something very shortly. It's not launched yet, but there is going to be a model where you will be able to build your own package and have a say in setting your own limits. So based on your trading style, you will be able to maneuver around and set up the limits. So if you know who you are as a trader and you know your trading style, and maybe it doesn't fit exactly within that, within those parameters, I think we're coming out with something very soon where you'll be able to build your parameters and that match your trading style and your strategy. So there's no excuses at that point. It's everything is there for you to succeed. He wants you to succeed, and the only thing that's stopping you from succeeding is going to be yourself and the markets. Because man, who knows what's going on in the market?
The market, I call gold, especially gold. I'm like, gold is the devil. Like, I don't touch gold. I just don't anymore. I just have this thing. I'm like, gold. I love gold, and I don't. It's a love-hate relationship.
Gold is like so manipulated. I feel like it's so manipulated because it's not a gauge on inflation, but yet it hasn't lost its value. So maybe it is somewhat of a store of value, somewhat. But I have seen gold go from 1,800 down to 1,100. So the crypto people can say, oh, 1,800 to 1,100. That's almost a 50% drop. That's 35 to 40% drop. That is big and unexpected for gold, which is supposed to be a store of value. But it does have practical applications in business use and stuff like that. But
remind me, you guys pay in crypto, right?
We can pay in crypto, yeah.
That's amazing. Like, like now's the time to start get funded and get paid in crypto, man. Like when there's a huge sale. So
there you go. Get it? Yeah. I'd love to get $1 million in crypto right now, then have crypto go up to freaking 60 again. Yeah. Triple that, double that, triple that. So yeah, get in while it's hot. Yeah. Or your crypto's still good for something. And even so, yeah. But as of the crypto Bitcoin argument, any thoughts on that? Store of value or the digital gold?
Yes, we're big on Bitcoin. Sorry, I have my cat sleeping next to me. It doesn't normally come next to me, but he's noisy. Well, my partner more than me is obsessed with Bitcoin. Actually started way before him, before I met him in 2000, I think it was 18, something like that. About 4 years ago, I think. But yeah, we believe that we prefer like storing a lot of our value in Bitcoin. And we've touched crypto in general, like Ethereum, like, we've dabbled there, but I think that Bitcoin is by far the best store of value one can have, more than gold even, like real gold. But that's my opinion. Like, I don't want people to think I'm giving financial advice. This is based off our own research and knowing how the economy functions. So we believe it's the future. The way inflation is just skyrocketing, like I'd much rather have my value stored in Bitcoin than in something like the dollar or the euro that, like they're just printing money like crazy and the value is just dropping faster than I can ever make it,
So you can feel it now. Definitely at the grocery store, definitely at the gas pump.
Yes.
And it's we're only getting started. It's from that perspective, I think it's gonna last for another year or so, and then people are gonna get used to it for another decade. It's gonna take a decade for everyone to get used to it.
Yeah. I think things are just gonna get worse. So my suggestion to people is, you don't have to quit your job to learn. To start learning and start doing, in your spare time, in weekends. Like something I did a lot with trading is I back tested a lot to train my brain to see setups, so I love back testing a lot just to understand the markets faster, so in your spare time, you guys can use TradingView and maybe get the basic subscription. I forgot how much it is because I paid for the yearly, and just backtest, just learn a strategy. You only need one simple strategy. Like one is the magic number in making money online in any department. You just need one strategy that works with forex, and then just learn what I was telling you about. Just be aware of your emotions, be mindful, and just find ways around how can I keep my emotions as stable as possible. How can I, just ask yourself, how can I overtrade? And before you ever take a setup, ask yourself, like, does it meet all the requirements that I'm looking for in a trade? So, yeah.
Yeah, I definitely agree. And it's not about perfection, but it is about excellence. And the more you do, and if you focus in on that one thing and really hone in on it and make it become a thing of excellence, yeah, and not over trading. So just being patient. Yeah. And what else do we have over here? Breaking free and achieving financial freedom.
Sorry?
The topic of breaking free and achieving financial freedom. Bitcoin is the path to financial freedom. And so how do you help people break free from their 9-to-5 jobs? Maybe talk about that.
Right now, I'm doing affiliate marketing because I'm good at it and I love it. Like, Forex, I love, but Forex is like more of a personal thing. And yeah, like it's like a bit of a lonely, trade, I call it. So to balance out, I got back into affiliate marketing, and that's how I really help people. But eventually, one of the things I want to do, we might start in July after my partner and I come back from Barcelona, because that's where he's going to have his master class. I really want to start a TikTok channel and just show people like trading, like basic things they need to know, like support resistance, like, just getting started, and just lead them on to like a place like Scandinavian Markets where they can get their own capital to trade with, or to learn just how to trade properly.
Yeah, it's a big one. I think if people can have a little bit of guidance and being able to get the support they need to get through the test portion and be able to make money, because like you said, right now the topic of the show is trading WTF. It's to let traders know they're not alone, and if they can have maybe a coach and help them get through what it takes to pass an assessment. Did I overtrade? Review their trade with them, and discuss some of the elements and just help them not overthink it, because I think when you're stuck in here, you're on an island all by yourself. And I think, when you can have other people to help balance you out, that helps, because otherwise you just get lost, and trading is bad.
And I think it's good to understand that everyone goes through their ups and downs. Like, I was this close to passing with a prop firm, but I needed that mental break, so I didn't fret it. I was like, whatever. Like, I was like, I'd much rather redo it with Scandinavian Markets once I'm ready, and it'll probably be when we're back from Barcelona. But yeah, don't worry. Like, a lot of people, they'll pass, and like I told you, I know this one guy, he passed, he had a breakup with his girlfriend and he blew up the account, so he messed up. So what? He was like, back up on his feet, he reapplied. It's okay. Like, we're humans.
Yeah.
Avoid blowing up the account though once you get it.
The good thing is there's no time limit, so you can just put it on hold for a week or two while you take some time to digest from your breakup next time. So if life happens, it happens. But
exactly. Like, if you're going through like a huge emotional state, don't trade. It's better to just take a break. You're not gonna forget how to trade. You're better off doing that than,
Well, I was reading a book. Where did it go? It was like irrational. What is it? It was a book about people making irrational choices, and one of the things they said is that when people are angry, they speed more and get into more accidents. And if you're emotional and you're trading, that seems like you're going to be driving angry and getting into an accident. So you gotta be zen, and you gotta be really just laser focused on what your strategy is and what your plan is. And
Mm-hmm.
And then if the news changes, then either you exit your trade or you let it run as planned. But that's, I think, that's the key. And then risk management.
Mm-hmm.
Easier said than done, right?
Easier said than done. But one of the things I had learned as well is like if you lose a trade, stop. Like don't trade again, because that's when you're most likely to start over trading and thinking you saw a great setup, but it's not. You're just saying things on the chart. So I've learned to just walk away. I'm done for the day because I know I'm going to do a huge mistake after. So I think that's a huge, like, that's something you guys should take note of. When you lose a trade, just walk away. It's okay. Just get back to it the next day.
I feel like we just had a stoic moment right now. It's just where even if you win a trade or you lose a trade, you still just experience an emotion and a huge thing that's going to affect your decision making. So either way, walk away. Unless it's a trade that you've already entered, that's part of your plan, and there's no need to trade anymore because you've experienced you've won, lost, or whatever it is, but you're not going to be making the same. You're not going to be in the same state to make another decision after that point as you were when you made it at the beginning of the day when you're making original decisions.
I agree.
Just thought of that.
Had an epiphany.
Yeah. Like that's it. It's like I know like people who are like professors in trading, so I like send them a note like, what do you think about that? Because that's totally true. You're not going to be making the same decisions after that. So how do people find you, connect with you, and be able to get your services and be able to join the community?
So the easiest way, I guess, would be through my YouTube channel. So you just search my name and surname, which you probably see on the screen right here. I guess they can see the name and surname.
I hope it's there, right?
I think it is, yes. So it's Chiara Francica. Just find me on YouTube. You'll know because you'll see a bunch of videos about trading. I think that's the best way. And then through my YouTube videos, I'll tell you how to further connect with me. I have a Telegram channel. You can even connect with me on Telegram if you guys have questions about Scandinavian markets. I'm happy to answer. I'm very familiar with how prop firms work, and I know how Scandinavian markets work because I've been through the rules and I understand like very well how they function. But yeah.
Sweet. Any other last words, feedback?
Guys, don't worry about being perfect. There's no such a thing as being perfect. One of the first things I learned as an entrepreneur, and it really helped me with my mindset, was that we just jump off cliffs and we build our wings as we're literally falling down. And that's how anything is when it comes to trying to attempt a skill set such as forex. You're not going to be perfect in the beginning. You're going to learn through failing. You're going to learn through losing money. You're going to learn through screwing up prop firm accounts in the beginning. And that's okay. Like, no, it's normal. The only difference between the people that have had success and the ones that didn't was that the people that have had success is they kept going. Even after they've lost, they've failed, they've lost money, they just keep going.
It reminds me of that Rudyard Kipling, the if quote, or the if. It's a great poem, and it's like there's that one line, but if by triumph and if by defeat, those two buggers. But it's how you handle triumph and defeat. It's when you win and when you lose. It's not being able to be sidetracked by winning and by losing. It's by being able to be consistent throughout.
That's the word, consistency. Like that's everything. Consistency was everything for me.
Like that. Well, thank you for your time today, Chiara.
Thank you so much, Nick. It was an honor. I enjoyed this.
Yeah, thank you, and I hope everyone has got some value as well. Thank you so much, Chiara.
Thank you so much, Michael.
Bye.
Ciao, ciao.